Hello all, Sendo here. Today this video is going to be about SendouQ, which is a new feature on my website SendouQ that is launching Monday 14th of August when the season 0 is starting on that date. So this video is going to be about sort of walkthrough and feature showcase of what you can expect when you try it yourself on Monday. And if you don't know about the website itself, then well, there's a bunch of other Splatoon things, such as build analyzer, some art pages these days, map planner, event calendar, like a bunch of stuff. So if you haven't, then go check it out. You might find it cool. But yeah, when you come to this page, the front page, then clicking this green icon here is gonna get you to the SendouQ front page. And before you can queue up for the first time, you're asked to select your start and rank. So the idea with this is that there are people of different kind of skill levels. So your skill level is not a limitation if you can join or not. Like anyone no matter the skill level can join. But there's gonna be people that are more trying to go for the very top of the leaderboard, and there are some that are just trying to take it easy at the start. So that's why the system gives you a chance to set your start and rank. If you don't know which one to select, then default is a good option. Higher is more like, as I mentioned, if you're trying to go for the top of the leaderboard, maybe you're at plus level already, as is said here. And lower might be if you're on that lowing or like otherwise like new to the competitive scene, then maybe lower might be the good choice for you. But if you don't know what to choose, just choose default. And this is only asked for the first time you play. Afterwards, it's not gonna be asked. Then this kind of form pops up. First of all, there's rules. You can check out what kind of rules we have. So please do read those. And then there's some questions it's going to ask you before you can queue up. So it's going to ask you about your map list preference, no preference, prefer all modes, prefer zones only, all modes only, or zones only. So yeah, pick whichever format you like. If you want to play both, then just do no preference. If you want to do zones only, then, well, there's zones only, but this means that you cannot match up against teams that are all modes only. But that's why I actually recommend, even if you prefer zones, then just do prefer zones only. This means you can still match up against all the teams, but you're gonna play zones whenever possible. So I think it's a pretty good compromise. But if you're really like a strict zones only fanatic, then just do zones only. Like that's totally an option. Then there's the map choices. So I'm gonna explain a bit later how the map picking works here. But just pick whatever maps are good for you or your team. If you are queuing up with your team, then just try to think of what maps are good for your team, with the weapons you play and whatnot. And this is something that can be changed between matches. So don't try to think about it too hard. Just pick whatever feels good. And then if you think you could have picked better, then just come back and change it later. And it already has some choices for me because I have used this feature before. So it has is remembering my choices here. But yeah, as we could make some changes, so maybe Hagglefish is not my thing, maybe Humpback is my thing, and maybe a bit less Sturgeon, a bit more Flow on the Heights, you can go and change. And if you do a choice that is not legal, like for example, too much one map, then it will warn you, and then just fix those till you have all green at the bottom here. Then it's going to give you a couple options, add team members or join the queue directly. Actually, both of these kind of lead to the same place in a way. But add team members, if you already have someone in mind that you're queuing up with, like your friend, or maybe you have your whole team, then you would pick this. If it's only you, then you would pick join the queue directly. So if you have team members already, and we click add team members, then you're gonna come to this kind of page. There's an invite link, so you can share this with your friends that you have already. Or if you have a team members or people that you have played with before, they're here at the pop drop down that you can choose and add them directly. So you might add just one friend, or you might add like a full team. Like it depends. Like maybe today you're only by yourself, so then you would join the queue directly. Maybe some other day you have a full team, so you join with your full team. And maybe someday your team only has 2 members available, so you join the queue, the 3 of you, and then you will pick 1 member of the queue. So that's how that kind of works. So whichever number is allowed just by yourself, with 2, with 3, or a full team, or a possible. And then there's this sort of like a give manager thing. I'm gonna explain it a bit later actually. But yeah, once you have made your choices here, then you would click join the queue. And then you come to this kind of view. And if you clicked before, you click like join the queue directly, then you would like directly come to this screen by yourself. And it still has this same options as before. So, you know, maybe you join and then your friend is, actually, no, never mind. I can play. I was just joking before. So then you can come here and still like send them an invite link and they can join directly without having the first join the queue, and then you have to do the full thing. It's going to show you rank. It's kind of like test data. That's why you don't see ranks for everyone. But yeah, it's going to show the ranks. It's going to show the 3 first weapons from the profile. So set them on your user profile. Then it's going to show if you're a member of Plus server, it's going to show +2, +3, whatnot. It's going to show those. And then, yeah, you can give manager to one of your teammates. This basically just means that they're also allowed to ask other groups to play. So they could also like do this, where you click ask play. If you don't give manager, then you're the only one who can do this. But yeah, the basic idea with this is that you go over your like you see, okay, who I'm playing with. Then you try to see, okay, like who could be like good fit for my fort, and then you can just ask them to play. And yeah, you do this till you have a full group. And if a group asks you to play, then they would appear here, and then you can like click that, and you know, you do that till your group is full as mentioned. And yeah, try to select something that is like roughly your own skill level. Of course, like that's typically gonna be the best idea for you. And normally you would see kind of like the ranks here as well. This is test data, that's why they're not there. But normally you would see that. So then try to do based on that and the weapons. And then yeah, just keep doing this till you have a full group. I'm gonna do some admin things now so we can see what it looks like when you have a full team. So, skipping a bit ahead, this is if you have a full team. So now we have like a full team of 4 members, and we get kind of like these options of other teams that are also looking. But in this view, you don't actually see who the other teams are. So instead, you only see their average skill level. So the idea is that you don't choose based on their skill level, really. And you see your own average skill level. For us is Bronze Plus. And then you could see that what would be like a good options here. And you see all the options here. And the idea with this is that, okay, maybe when it's peak time, maybe you can be a bit more picky and try to get teams that are closer to your average level. But if you're playing at hours where not as many people are queuing up, then maybe you want to pick a team that is a bit outside of your current skill level, so you can get a match going. But that's kind of like up to you. If you only prefer to play your own like skill level on the bronze people, then like feel free to wait till you have it. But of course, I recommend also like trying other skill levels that are closer to us. So maybe in this case, we could take a look like silver, gold, iron. Like there's a bunch of options here for us now, actually. But for example, you could say like gold, and looks good. We can challenge them, but actually, now we have a lot of challenge of ourselves. So when you get challenges, you can decide for yourself that, okay, this is Iron Plus. Do we want to play these guys or not? But if you think, okay, that looks good, like we're Iron Plus, are we Bronze Plus, they Iron Plus, that sounds pretty good. So yeah, let's get going. Let's start a match. And when you start a match, then of course it's revealed who they were, like which team you're now facing. And it has some other instructions like, just join the Discord for the match meetup. Use this pool. The rules are here as a reminder. But otherwise, now you would play the best of 7 out. So here are the maps that you picked. It's because of my test data that it's showing this both pick thing. But normally it would go so that maybe like first map is team Alpha pick, second map is team Bravo pick, then Alpha Bravo, and last would be both. Like that would be the standard case. but there is kind of like this system in the background that is trying to make it, or is making the equal based on your picks. But here's where your picks will affect, and then if you later learn that maybe my picks weren't so good, then just change for next time. So yeah, in this phase you would make the room be the alpha. So maybe I would make the room and maybe contact the other team that room is up with this password, and I'm making sure that my pool code is SendouQ. And then you play the best of 7 out. GG's, we won 4-0 because we're so good. So then we will just go here, and don't mind that, that's an admin thing actually. But you won't see that, you will just see that, okay, we won 4 straight, 4-0, submit scores, go. And then it's showing this kind of screen. This means that it's saying SP will be adjusted after opponent confirms the score. So this means that we reported it, but it's still waiting for the opponent to actually go ahead and do the same. So if we skip ahead a bit, maybe now the opponent has reported as well, which they have, and then you see this, and that's when the skill level gets adjusted, and you can queue up again. And actually, you can even queue up again even before the opponent has reported the score. If they're taking a while, then just let them know that, hey, can you report the score? So the skills get adjusted. But if not, then of course there's an admin feature as well. So if there's like a problem with the opponent not reporting, then you will just go to the help desk of the Discord and say that there. Then another thing you can do is report used weapons. So this is kind of like a statistics thing. So it might be nice to go here and actually say like what weapons did you play in the match, because this is used for different types of features, a bit more statistics and whatnot. I will actually show this in a bit, like where this gets used. But yeah, you will just go here and like take a look at Splatnet or the in-game like the map history feature, and then you would just like go here and copy. Maybe we're playing a bit of the same comp, and so I'm copying just the same, but yeah, it's just switched to Luna last map. But yeah, you would go here and select the weapons that each team played, and then yeah, report weapons. So it's a bit more like statistics, like a fun little thing. If you don't think this is worthwhile, then don't do it. But I think for quite a few people, this might be interesting in the first, in the end. So maybe you will find it interesting as well. But yeah, that's the queue itself. So then we would just maybe look again with the same group, and then yeah, looks good. Like we explained to the same people, and then you back there, and then you keep doing this again and again and again, and yeah, your rank is adjusted each time you play, and then maybe you get as you advance in skill, you get to play more advanced opponents as well. So that's the system in a nutshell. Okay, so I'm going to talk a couple other things that are related to the SendouQ itself, or like some additional features. So leaderboards, that is one. So there's different rankings. There's team ranking, and then there's user ranking. And each of the weapon classes has their own ranking as well. So we can see who's the best umbrella. Seems like not much competition. You can see who's the best brush, but this is using the report weapon data that I was showing earlier. User ranking, team ranking. Important thing to note is that they're separate. So if I'm playing with my team, and then I go and play with a pickup the day after, it doesn't actually affect my team ranking. So the team ranking is quite literally a ranking of these 4 people together. When they're playing together, that's when this ranking gets adjusted, and it doesn't get adjusted in other times. And the user ranking gets adjusted every time you play. No matter who you're playing with, it gets adjusted. So that's the difference between these 2 rankings. The user ranking starting season 1 will be used in Plus server admissions. So before there was only this voting that you have to pass to get access to this kind of like this high top level player looking for group server. But now if you're placing high on the leaderboards, that's also a way to get in. So it would be like, for example, the +1, it would be top 10 that don't already have access. So it might be, the top 10, or it might be 11 to 20 or whatnot. So it depends. So it's top 10 that don't have access, and then the +2 is top 20 that don't have access, and +3 is top 30 that don't have access. But yeah, that's starting season 1. And then for the team ratings, So in my test data, there's not so many teams, but that would be if you are in the highest rank, which is going to be Leviathan. Then you get invited to a kind of like this major event at the end of the season final, where the prize pool is $750, and yeah, that's kind of like the whole like end of the season, like the big event at the end. But then your team has to really be at the very top of the leaderboards. So those are kind of like the incentives of placing well on the leaderboards. And then finally, for some stat stuff, you can go here to your user profile, click seasons, and that's as you see, when it's testing, sometimes you see some funny things. So I definitely need to fix that. But if we ignore that funny thing there for a while, then it really is the page where you see all the results. You can see your ranking history, and yeah, due to my test data, it looks a bit funny, but yeah, you wouldn't see like how your ranking progress has been going throughout the season. You will see your peak ranking, you will see your current ranking, you will see the weapons you played. So I've been playing a lot of range in this test data. I will see my success rate in the maps. So I see my scored zones is 4 wins, 5 losses, for example. I will see who I played with and what is my win rate with each teammate. And I will see the enemies and see what is my win rate against those enemies. So kind of like the statistics type of thing. And then here, finally, you can see all my past matches of the season. So I can kind of like go back and see how I did, yeah, sometime in the past, and then you can see the match here. But I think that's actually all the features. So I tried to go over it as well as I could, but I'm sure I did forget something. So please, if you watch this video and then you like, actually I don't understand something, then just leave a comment down below and I will try to answer those, and then that can be kind of like additional resource in addition to this video. So yeah, just leave me a comment if you don't understand something. And of course, we have the Discord. That's discord.gg/SendouQ. So if you have some feedback or if you need help, then that's the primary way that you can get that. So just come there. I'm pretty active there. So just put your questions or feedback there, and I will definitely take a look. But otherwise, thanks a lot for watching, and yeah, hope to see you playing Season 0 starting next Monday. Okay, have a good one. Bye.